49ers, with the free agency period now over, now the draft is upon us. But the Niners, there's more on their hands than just their front office. It's the entire staff of the 49ers that are on the hot seat.
Let's talk football.
Alrighty, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the All Around Sports Podcast, where sports are everything on this channel. I'm your host, Antonio. Today, again, we are talking about the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners, after letting go of half of their roster to free agency, 17 players to be exact. The 49ers have not been that busy in free agency, as their only two notable signings have been signing to Marcus Robinson and Mac Jones. But primarily, the draft is where they're trying to look, because there could be some key players available, like Will Johnson, Amron Membu, Jalon Walker, and a few others. But I'm going to explain why I believe that Shanahan and John Lynch are under even more pressure than Mr. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. Now, I've talked about Purdy a few times. I've talked about him in recent videos. If you want to go check that out, I'll have those videos in my channel's profile. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you do, please make sure to do me a big favor and smash that button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. But for now, let's talk about Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. Lynch. I know that he's been a GM of the Niners since 2017, but it took them 2 years to get in the swing. They were 6-10 and 4-12 in 2017 and 2018. But then the year they went to the Super Bowl was 2019, which we know they went 3-3. Before that was before the games got moved up to 17 games. They went 6-10 that following year, then made 4 conference championships in a 5-year span from 2020 to 2023, or somewhere around that margin. But when I look at the 49ers, you have to some point pull through. Because Kyle Shanahan, we know that the man that he is, Mr. 28-3 choker in the NFL, we all know who he is. Kyle Shanahan is a man that coaches scared. He's a man that honestly coaches scared. When they had that Super Bowl in Super Bowl 54, Jimmy Garoppolo threw that ball down the field to Emmanuel Sanders that was wide open. I don't even know why people are still blaming it on the refs. It was all Jimmy G on that touchdown, on that could have been touchdown throw. Because if he makes that completion, Niners probably win that Super Bowl. But also, I want to throw this out there. Shanahan has lost 10-point leads galore. And that Super Bowl showed why. Because in the first half, they were running the ball efficiently. In the fourth quarter, with 10 minutes to go, they got away from that, started to pass the ball, and gave the Chiefs enough time to come back and win the game. Also, in the years after that, when they faced the Rams in the 2022 NFC Championship game, they were they had a 10-point lead with 17-13, 17-7, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. They had that 10-point lead, gave it up to Aaron Donald and the Rams. Jimmy Garoppolo threw the game-sealing interception, and then we all know what happened there.
Next floor, bottom of the food chain.
Also, during that NFC Championship game, of course, we all know that no team loses 4 quarterbacks in a single season, but we then knew that Brock Purdy would become the starter. Also, I don't know if you all know, but the Trey Lance, still the wrong trade, if you ask me. But also, During that NFC Championship game, they won that, of course, against the Lions. They were down by a few points. They were down in each of those two games. But when they faced Kansas City, had 10-point lead, they gave it up because Kyle Shanahan coach is scared. Whenever this man is in the big time games, whether it's a playoff game, whether it's a Super Bowl, he coaches scared. This is what the man does. He coaches scared. He's like, oh, I don't want what happened in the Super Bowl 51 to happen again. But it's happened twice since then. Two lost 10-point leads in the Super Bowl. And not only that, they both been to the Kansas City Chiefs. That you rightfully created the legend of Patty Mahomes. You were the ones responsible for creating the Patrick Mahomes.
I'm sorry.
You were responsible for creating the legend that is the Chiefs known as today. My point is to the Niners fans, you can have a stacked roster. You can have a stacked team. But when Shanahan gets to the big game, he'll always find a way to let the team down. He always does. It's what Kyle Shanahan does.
I'm flying! Yes! Wait! I'm gonna hit the ground, aren't I?
And in that Super Bowl, I even said, coming out of my mouth, I said that the 49ers would lead at halftime and then they would choke it away in the second half. Chiefs would end up winning the game. Because that's who the Niners are. They always find a way to get in their own dang way. And as a matter of fact, they're lucky that Brock Purdy became the starter. Because if Trey Lance was still that starter and that happened to him, oh, they would have been gone out of that building because that Trey Lance trade is still the worst trade in the National Football League. Still. Also, when they were doing their stuff last year, we all know the injuries they had. They still had a chance to get to the playoff picture. They still had opportunities, but lost because they had too many injuries. I get all that. But when you lose 17 players, you're supposed to have a 53-man roster. You lost 17 guys. That's like a quarter of your roster. So now you only have 3/4 of a roster. You still got a lot of money out there, and y'all haven't done jack for the entire offseason. You have Amari Cooper out there. You got Nick Chubb out there, who's a solid running back when healthy. You got so many guys out there that are still free agents. Why aren't you going after them? Because you have the money. Why don't go after them? Why don't you go after them and not pay an expensive bag of chips in Mac Jones, who ain't worth a dang? Don't even get me started on Mac Jones. Do not even get me started on that man. And I know Shanahan has had a lot of faith in him, but I wouldn't have a lot of faith in Mac Jones because of what he did in New England. Heck no, absolutely not. But my point is to the 49ers. They will always find a way to get in their own way. They will never let me down. They will never let you down. When the expectations are at the highest peak, they will always, every single time, find a way to lose on their own terms. It's happened in the last two Super Bowls, and it's happened in the last two of the four NFC Championship games in regards in subtraction of that Philadelphia Eagles NFC Championship game because no team loses 4 quarterbacks in a single year. My point is, you can have a stacked roster. You just can't get it done. Because look at the division now. The Rams, they are right now better than you. we'll see what they can do. I'm still not sold on Sam Darnold, but they can still have a chance to be the second best team in the NFC West. Not confident on that, but I'm saying if it does work out, they can be the second best team in the West. Cardinals, we know that the 49ers got swept by them last year.
Such irony.
Cardinals are a bit of a 50-50 team. You're either the team that shows they're a playoff contender, or they're the team that can lay an egg. The 49ers, they constantly get in their own way. They always do. They will never fail. Whenever the haters, like myself, sometimes I'm a critique. Whenever critics come out here and say that Brock Purdy has to show up in the big moments,
You take the saber down, or you die trying. No excuses.
Yes, Captain.
that's what we expect from our quarterbacks. It's what we expect from Jimmy Garoppolo. It's what we expected from Colin Kaepernick. It's what we've expected from these quarterbacks that have been in San Francisco and have been in the Super Bowl, the biggest stage in the country, and they have failed every single opportunity they've had. And I don't want to hear anything about the refs in those games. Every Super Bowl has bad calls. Every one of them does. It's just the facts of life. Referees are human. They make mistakes. So for Niner fans to come out here and say, oh, the refs cost us the Super Bowls. Well, shut it. Y'all haven't won a Super Bowl since Steve Young was your quarterback. You have done nothing. Last time y'all was something, I was long before I was even born. Last time y'all was something, my dad probably had an afro because that's how big time it is. With Joe Montana and those guys, with Steve Young and those guys. You at some point, Niners, one way or another, you have to get the job done. The younger generation looks at you right now, like guys like myself and younglings around the NFL that are fans. They look back at those Super Bowls you lost. They look back at those opportunities as you had. They look back at each and every one of the losses you had, whether it's an NFC Championship game, whether it's a Super Bowl. Yes, I'm still bringing that Richard Sherman game up. I'm still bringing that up. Every single young person in the league doesn't know what the 49ers have done because about 75% of them weren't even born the last time they were won a Super Bowl. The last time they won a Super Bowl, Google didn't even exist. Google didn't even exist. That is how long ago it was. So, Niners, I am not hating on you at all. I am just simply saying at some point, you have to finish the deal for the younger generation. The younger generation looks at your rings right now, they are pathetic. The rings don't even mean anything anymore. Your 5 Super Bowls that we only were dominant in 2 decades, you were only dominant in 2 decades, the 80s and the 90s. Y'all were nothing since then. Y'all haven't been nothing. The last time y'all was something, Joe Montana was probably the coach or somewhere around Notre Dame, because that's where he played quarterback. My point And final point is this: the Niners always get in their way. They always, whether it's injuries, whether it's play calling, whether it is anything, some way, somehow, the 49ers will always get in their own way before they get in another team's way. It has been the case in the NFL for years. And the Niners have not done anything except maybe a few Super Bowls and NFC championships since then. So Niners, until you win a Super Bowl, we're looking at those 5 rings. They're pathetic because they were only a part of 2 decades, the 80s and the 90s. Before then, you were nothing, and but after that, you were nothing also. Just like Tom Brady with the Patriots. Before he got there, they didn't do nothing, and they have been nothing since Brady left. 49ers are the exact same way. They were bad before Montana, and they will be bad after Montana. I am just giving you the facts. Clear cut, unfiltered facts. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys think the 49ers front office is under the most pressure it has faced? Let me know in the comments what you guys think down below. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to do me a big favor and smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao for now.